Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we're learning more about an incident on I-75 in southern Kentucky when a professional rapper was arrested. And it's been more than 4 years since Christopher and Gracie Hagar were shot and killed outside an apartment building.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Wednesday, October 15th. We are just about at 6:31 this morning, and Megan Dusmal is joining us in Studio 2 for a look at that forecast. It's a bit chilly, but that's not the case for the rest of the week, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, the morning temperatures will still be chilly, but yes, we're definitely going to see those temperatures warming up just a tad as we're going through the next couple of days. This morning, though, the main thing you need to be aware of will be that fog. Dense, patchy fog is across more of our eastern counties this morning, going into our West Virginia counties, but we'll stay nice and sunny as we're heading throughout the remainder of your day. Nice and clear this morning, no chances of rain as you are heading out the door. Currently, though, as Amelia mentioned, a bit on the chillier side, looking at some 40s, even the low 40s as you travel towards Clintwood, 43 degrees. But this afternoon, we are warming up. Some upper 70 chances are in the forecast for some of our western counties. 78 is that forecast high in Somerset. 77 is the forecast high in Monticello, Manchester, Harlan, and Middlesboro. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. A Madison County teacher and coach are both out of jail. The Madison County School District says Charles Hamilton taught at Bonesboro Elementary and coached girls soccer at Cottle Middle School. He's facing a sexual abuse charge. We're told the alleged abuse happened during the 2018-2019 school year at Bonesboro Elementary when the victim was 10 years old. Investigators say the victim is now 17 and told a therapist that it happened in the school bathroom during a power outage. We are learning more details about an incident on I-75 in southern Kentucky when a professional rapper was arrested. Armani White, who also goes by Enoch Tolbert, was arrested Sunday evening in London. Police say he ran across the interstate and was dancing on the concrete barrier. He later told officers that he was filming a music video. Police say there's avenues to take if you want to shoot a music video.
You're not supposed to be just walking on the interstate or crossing the lanes of travel. We're not against anybody trying to exercise those rights to be able to do so. We just ask that you do them the right way and the safe way. You know, our biggest concern was safety.
White responded on Instagram by saying he smiled in the mugshot because he refuses to let anyone paint him as a criminal. He says it should not have made the news, and his new album is still coming out later this month. His pretrial conference is scheduled for October 28 at 9:30. 2 people are facing drug charges after a traffic stop in London. Police say they pulled over a vehicle on October 6 for a registration violation. A canine unit alerted to narcotics, and officers found a baggie of suspected meth in the center console. 33-year-old Brandon Lawrence and 32-year-old Katie Royce, both of Manchester, were arrested and taken to the Laurel County Detention Center. They're each charged with possession of meth and drug paraphernalia. It's been more than 4 years since Christopher and Gracie Hagar were shot and killed outside an apartment building that they owned in Richmond. Police say Thomas Burrell was behind their deaths, later burning the building down. Burrell was indicted last year and eventually ruled unfit to stand trial. Fast forward to July 2024, and the case was reopened in Madison Circuit Court. And yesterday, he had another tense hearing in a packed courtroom.
The way my uncle put it, it's almost like we're on life without parole. It's almost like we're the ones suffering. We're the ones that are just sitting around waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting versus, the perpetrator.
Burrell's defense team is requesting a psychiatric evaluation. The judge set a review date for January 8th. The man charged with terroristic threatening for his Halloween decorations in Powell County entered a not guilty plea in court on Monday. 58-year-old Stephen Markham was arrested over a week ago after placing decorations in his front yard that showed fake bodies labeled as city officials. Markham will be back in court this afternoon for a preliminary hearing. His bond remains at $5,000. As we first reported Monday, legendary Appalachian writer Gurney Norman died Sunday at the age of 88. Gurney was raised by his parental grandparents in the Alias community of Hazard. In many of his writings, he would talk about the area and what happened as the coal industry started to decline.
But when the coal industry, the coal company left, then the housing went away too. And so for us, you know, to drive through Gurney's Bend and to see it alive again, to see LA's having a future and that place isn't dead. A big part of that was because of Gurney Norman. You know, he didn't let us forget that place existed, and so it still exists today.
In 2021, the Housing Development Alliance dedicated a subdivision to Norman, calling it Gurney's Bend. Many say his legacy will live on forever in the countless numbers of riders he mentored. The Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce hosted its monthly Lunch and Learn meeting yesterday, inviting the American Heart Association to share how it's helping here in the mountains. WYMT's Buddy Forbes was at the meeting.
But we're going to jump in.
Representatives with the American Heart Association joined the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Tuesday for a lunch and learn.
That help us really identify the different gaps that each community faces and how we can really address those together.
The event discussed the importance of partnerships and how the association is working to address the rural health crisis with its partners in Eastern Kentucky, including a recent partnership with the University of Pikeville that is putting heart health, CPR, and emergency response plans on the syllabus.
And what that really means is that we are developing emergency response plans so that if something happens on campus and there's a cardiac emergency, everyone knows what to do and jumps into action quickly.
Andrea Uten says the partnership with UPike is a prime example of how the association is working to be on the ground in communities, while also funding research and education to create strategies that improve health.
It's going to allow us to be able to purchase brand new AEDs, purchase training, and purchase educational material.
UPike Public Safety Director Lee Upchurch says the partnership is a game changer and will increase the campus resources, allowing them to purchase more automated external defibrillators to plant around the campus and community.
That means you don't have to be a college student in order to use one of these AEDs, because a heart attack does not differentiate between a college student and a community member.
Though the American Heart Association is a known entity, those in attendance Tuesday say its ties to the region often go unnoticed. But Upchurch says its impact is invaluable.
Help us make the UPike community much safer. It's also going to help us to make Pikeville and Eastern Kentucky a much safer place.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The event also discussed how the association is working with area public schools, libraries, medical institutions, and first responders, trying to build a network of prepared people. Well, some folks in Kentucky may soon be paying more for electricity. We recently told you about a proposed Kentucky power rate increase last night. The Kentucky Public Service Commission held a public meeting about another increase request from Kentucky Utilities, or KU. Robin Kunkel says a higher electricity bill would be detrimental to her family.
If that passes, we would have to really watch what we were using our electricity on. Which as we go into colder months is a little intimidating.
If approved by the Kentucky Public Utility Commission, people like Kunkel would see an 11.5% increase in their bills. This figure equates to about $18 additional per month. Well, if you live in Perry County, take a look at this. It's on your screen now. These are all property tax bills that were returned to the post office due to address issues. If you haven't yet received your bill, give the sheriff's office a call at 606-439-4523 and press 2. They'll get you taken care of from there. You can also look up your bill online at perrysheriff.org. The annual radio day for the Appalachian Arts Alliance took place yesterday. Officials with the nonprofit and some special guests celebrated the day on Main Street in Hazard. Our Neely Green was there.
In partnership with WSGS 101.1 FM, the Appalachian Arts Alliance hosted its 6th annual Radio Day Tuesday. The day allows folks to tune in to hear local music and donate to a good cause.
We are better preparing our future generations for success in the fields and the creative economy. And we believe that the creative economy can really help us redefine what's possible here in our region.
The Arts Alliance offers children of Appalachia a space for creative expression, whether it's music, art, dance, you name it. Executive Director Tim Deaton Conway says it's important to give kids an outlet to create.
I often reflect to the fact that an organization like this didn't exist when I was a kid. And I often think of how having a resource like we have with the Appalachian Arts Alliance, how that could have elevated me as a student of the art.
Folks from all over were invited to support the nonprofit by giving.
Knowing that people are willing to sacrifice something of their own resources to help benefit something that's important to me and something important to our staff and people here is just so vital and so special.
Deacon Conway says with teamwork and collaboration, anything is possible.
Just most importantly, we're a community, and getting together and being together is important. And together we can do all of these amazing things that we want to do. And I'm just happy that the arts have a seat at the table for helping those things come to fruition.
In Hazard, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
We are told $11,000 was raised yesterday. And if you'd still like to make a donation, you can find this story on our website, WYMT.com. The Appalachian Arts Alliance has plenty more events going on in the month of October. The next one is Thursdays on the Grand, which we will participate in to celebrate WYMT's 40th anniversary.
And we're seeing a little bit of those chilly temperatures as you are starting off your Wednesday. A lot of 40s are popping out and about 47 degrees in Pikeville and Prestonsburg. Warmer as you travel more towards the southwest. 56 degrees currently in Monticello, 50 in Somerset. By the time we head into the afternoon, that trend of the southwest being warmer will still continue as we're looking at chances for upper 70s. 78 degrees is that forecast high in Somerset, 77 in Monticello, Middlesboro, Harlan, Manchester. Cooler as we travel more towards the northeast. 68 is that forecast high in Logan, West Virginia. We are still monitoring some fog this morning, so be careful as you're heading out and about, starting off your day, especially if you are into some of our eastern Kentucky counties. Our Virginia counties are West Virginia counties. Here's a look at that bus stop forecast for you. Looking at that fog this morning. By the time we head into the afternoon, skies will clear up, looking at sunny to mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the low 70s. Amelia.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:42. Coming up, it's State Planning Awareness Week is coming up next. Time to create or review your plan and update some key documents.
Travel forecast.